in honor of Father's Day, the Divine Masculine, and Summer Solstice, welcome to Sekhmet Sundays, where what no longer serves becomes the sacred fire. We are really excited to bring this beautiful celebration for fathers all around, everywhere in the world. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get Nefertari in. We can begin. Ooh, that rhymed. All right. She's coming on. I'm going to put this further because every single time she comes on, my face is so big. Hello! Yay!
Sorry, my lighting didn't off, everybody. I'm actually out of town, but I'm always here for you.
Yes, yes. All right. I was just doing a little intro that we are in honor of the Divine Masculine, Father's Day, and Summer Solstice. Like everything all in one day. How beautiful is that? What a beautiful celebration for all of the Divine Masculine, all the men out there, the fathers out there. So let's get started. So what do you got for us?
Well, I have an interesting read, and I'm actually pulled two reads, one for our solstice reading, and then also one for our divine masculine counterparts. Let's start with our solstice read. I love it, love it, love it. Overarching energy is strength. And I love, love, love this card. And if you can see this card, our strength card, it's usually a woman opening up the lion's mouth, but this is her embodying the divine feline, right? That divine feminine feline, that Sekhmet energy, that strength. And it came out twice in this read. So overarching energy for solstice is living in your strength, embodying your sacred strength. That's what's coming through right now. It is very, very powerful for us as the divine feminine to embody the strength that is being embodying the strength that's being given to us, right? That is lighting us up, that is expanding our fire, expanding our flame, expanding our reach, expanding our intuition, expanding our energy. In our recent past here, we have the 10 of Cups. We've been working on that frequency, working on that harmony, working on aligning ourselves with our truth. And we are in the Knight of Swords. It is go, go, go time. The energy is high right now. The blessings are within us. The fire is burning. We need to step into that embodiment, that divine feminine embodiment, and walk forward with that. In your future, again, strength comes in. Again, still pushing through, still continuing to live through that strength for at least the entire year, leaving 8 of Cups, leaving what no longer serves us for something much bigger. Okay, final outcome, Queen of Wands, Judgment, and 7 of Cups. So basically what we need to do is this year, as far as embodying our strength, we need to, again, live in our joy, okay? The Queen of Wands represents everything from self-empowerment and manifestation, right? With your wand, entrepreneurship, anything that you are inspired to do, you can do that and still provide service to humanity, right? When you're giving them what they need, when you're providing a service that you genuinely care about and are providing others with something that you are passionate about. This is absolutely basically who we are going to be this year. And we're going to have a lot of different things on our plate as far as emotionally, how we're going to pick, where we're going to go. But we have this in the bag. We have this ability to be able to choose clearly through our emotions. And all of that is going to help us with our breakthrough. It's going to help us evolve. It's going to help us open up into our greatest version of ourselves for the final outcome, guys. I can't even stress how much energy. I'm over at the ocean right now in Destin, Florida, and the energy has been keeping me up, I think, for the last 3 days. And me and Tangee, I'm texting her at like 1:45 in the morning 2 days ago because I'm just like so wired from this energy. And the energy is still really strong over here, especially today. And I'm still a little shaky, even though I was in the ocean today. But super, super intense message. I mean, guys, I read with 2 decks for a reason. And when I get strength double, I mean, go, 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 especially the divine feminine, the lightning heart, that intense power of just being there for yourselves and for others. Gaia needs us right now. Gaia needs us to ground the energy and needs us to be present and needs us to follow through with what our passions are, because that's how we provide service, y'all. Follow through with your passions. Provide the service that you've been called to provide and stay in your center. Okay. So right now the energy is like go time, go, 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 follow your passion, embody your strength, and move forward to provide that service. Now, what's interesting, rolling into this amazing Father's Day, and what's interesting with their particular read, the Divine Feminine Solstice read was very high frequency, very bright cards, very bright selections. What's interesting for our Divine Masculine, and I've been seeing it on different feeds, on different areas, different groups, with people around me, challenges with our Divine Masculine, and probably more so the last 3 months. And what's interesting is it's a lot of stuff within them. They're having a lot of issues. Sometimes I think they're having a hard time letting go of what is being burned off of them right now, right? Like we as intuitive, receptive females, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty of intuitive, receptive males out there, but sometimes when, because the Divine Feminine is coming through really strong right now, they don't know how to balance that, right? They've never been loved for showing their emotions, right? Their emotions have never been respected enough for them to be allowed to be shown. So the primary card, which is interesting, is the Nightmare reversed for our Divine Masculine, for our fathers, for our Divine Masculine, for our counterparts, okay? The nightmare is over. You do not need to be controlled anymore with the perspectives of society telling you that you should never cry, you should never show emotions. Your emotions don't even matter, okay? That's what weak people have, our emotions. And what's coming through this read is that hole that's within our Divine Masculine, the hole, basically that part of them that's missing because the Divine Feminine has been deleted, as far as the level of importance and the level of reverence we should have for the Divine Feminine, that's been deleted from their mind for over 3,500 years. Well, that's going to leave a major hole in their heart, a lack of connection within them. And what's coming through for our Divine Masculine is that nightmare is coming to an end. What they're sitting in right now here is the Five of Cups. Look at that. Look at this hole right here. Look at all of the emotions that are just going down the tubes. I mean, that hole is literally in a lot of these men. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel loved. They don't feel respected. They don't know how to respect a female, and may not understand why they can't find partnership, why they can't find connection, why they go to the wrong type of female, why they can't seem to find that resonance, which then will attract them to the right kind of female, right? So our Divine Masculine right now is going through another transformation. So we have transformations for our females as well as our Divine Masculine, but the transformations are a little bit different. And what's coming through is they're starting to realize that they're coming through like their darkness, right? Like we started a little bit earlier because all of this divine female energy is coming through, like our strength is coming through, and they're not quite energetically, emotionally connecting, understanding what's happening, because it's like the right side of their brain is waking up and they don't normally use that side of their brain. They've never been they've never been made to feel comfortable to use that side of their brain, right? Because left, everything has to be logical, everything has to be like this, and everything has to be compartmentalized, and that their sensitivities were never encouraged to be accepted or tapped into or grown. So right now our Divine Masculines are having a little bit of an internal conflict, but what they're going to be going through is something that they have to go through. So as females, I know right now, some of us, and I'm going to be super, super honest with y'all, I'm going through the same thing, okay? And I had a vision of my husband 3 years before we even met, right? Divine counterparts, twin flame, you name it. We're telepathic with each other. That doesn't mean that conflict isn't happening in our masculine, and his is really coming through as that gap, that hole, that level of genuine appreciation and love within self. That's the part that's having a little bit of turmoil coming through, and it's leaking out in a way that we're not accustomed to. So I think a lot of couples are just like, what the heck is going on here? Like, why are you like this? Or why are you like that? We're stepping into our strength, and they're just like not understanding what they're going through. So that's going to cause a little bit of conflict. Please be kind to yourselves. Please be kind to your partners. Give each other space and do what you can to try and respect each other. Do yourself a favor, okay? And I know emotions are high right now on both aspects, our divine masculine and our divine feminine. There is a lot of energy swirling around, and it's affecting us differently. But the one similar thing is sometimes we'll get this influx of energy that's coming through, and you're just like, oh my gosh, and you feel something called anxiety, or you feel like you're having, a breakdown, when it's actually a breakthrough. So we need to embrace ourselves, be kind to ourselves. And if our masculine is feeling weird or off, or, having these weird emotions, and they're not understanding what they're processing, and they don't understand our language, which happens a lot, right? We sound a little airy fairy to some left brain perspectives, which I get. Just be kind. Sometimes there are words that we want to say that are not the nicest things. And it's just, or sometimes we just feel really like, oh, like that was not okay. Get it all out. You can write it all out. Even, like, hey, you can write the email that you don't send, or write it out on your journal, or write something out, because I guarantee you the next day when you think about these things, you're going to feel completely different. Take a shower, keep grounding, you're going to feel different. What's looking like, what's coming forward at this time is that the divine feminine, we are ready to go. We are full speed ahead. We are go, go, go. We are enjoying this. We are absorbing, but we need to be very supportive to our masculine right now. Obviously, we have boundaries, but we also need to maintain our self-respect and not become, over the top with our energy, or just give them a little bit more grace than we probably normally would at this time. And that is my read for this evening. Happy solstice, everybody.
I love that. Thank you, Nefertari, for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you said so much in that, and I like to bring it back to where men were not able to express their feelings. Like children, me and Genevieve grew up in the era, children should be seen and not heard. I know that in that era, it was boys, don't cry, big boys don't cry. And there's a really great documentary I saw years ago that I recommend everyone watch. It's called The Masculine, and it's about the divine masculine being shut down. It's and I, be a man, just like that big tough, like don't show any emotions, because then you're, like you said, like it shows weakness. I think our vulnerability is so much, there's so much strength in being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's coming through, what I want to share. So we're going to be doing some breath work, and it's circular breath work. And when we start doing this breath work, what I want you just to envision, and it's true that we are going in this new timeline where the divine feminine is rising up. This is why Sekhmet is coming through. This is why Nefertari and I do Sekhmet Sundays, is like inviting the women and the men, right? Whoever is watching here, but inviting all of us to see that this new timeline that we're going into, the new earth, this is necessary. It is so necessary for the divine feminine to rise again, and not to be a feminine, not in the feminist way, but more, and that's the part where it's like being kind to each other, being kind to ourselves, but also like having compassion for the divine masculine, having compassion for your partner or your co-parent or father, or just having the compassion towards their inner child. That's what I always did whenever there was a conflict with with my son's dad and I always saw the inner child. And I think that's how I was able to like shift my lens towards compassion and really start healing my inner child wounds. Because when I was getting triggered, whenever we're getting triggered, it's never about the other person, right? They're showing up in the form for us to see the places within ourselves that we didn't feel appreciated, accepted, loved, acknowledged, seen, heard growing up. Yeah. So with this breath work, it's circular breath work. And what you're going to be doing, we're going to be doing 11 breaths in and out through our mouth. So it's going to be like, and as soon as you take a breath in, you're breathing out. So it's circular. So we'll be doing that for 11 times. No, so sorry. 33 times. This is what being said. Do 33 times right now. So I'm going to do 33 times. And when we are doing this, really the dragons wanted to come through with this breath work. And while we're doing this, I have this beautiful labradorite stone. There's actually a dragon in it. Two dragons actually. And he wanted to come out and play. And so I'm going to be doing my light language, which is, I'm going to be doing it with my hand and maybe do light language by voice. But when we do this breath work, I want all of us to envision seeing the divine masculine in this beautiful golden egg. Like he is in this, he's in his cocoon, and the divine masculine is in this cocoon. And I would, at the end of our breath work, what's going to happen is we are going to see the divine masculine rebirthed, birthing in, cracking out of the egg, the dragon's egg, and birthing into a new. This is what's wanting to come through right now. So, and if you start to get a little lightheaded, a little dizzy, or you start to cough, or you start to burp, just know all of this is natural. This is all normal. And if you start to get lightheaded, you can stop. You can stop doing the breath work for a couple of seconds, and then go back right into it once you feel a bit better. Like really, really okay. So another thing, another vision, this kind of visual is coming through is just like the mother, the divine mother is like enveloping with her wings around the golden egg and really just being there to support, being that anchor for the divine masculine. And in celebration of the summer solstice as well, is just like celebrating the god Ra, the god sun Ra, the sun god Ra. And it's almost like he's the incubator. He's the incubator for the dragon. Okay. All right. So just taking a nice deep breath in for 4 count through your nose, holding it in there in your heart and in your womb for a 6 count, and exhaling for an 8 count through your mouth. Breathing in for a 4 count through your nose, holding it there for a 6 count in your heart and your womb, and exhaling for an 8 count through your mouth. One last time, breathing in for a 4 count through your nose, holding it there for a 6 count in your heart and your womb, and in the egg, the golden egg, and exhaling for an 8 count. On the count of 3, we're going to start the breath work. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling out through your mouth. Continue breathing. About halfway through, continue breathing in and out your mouth. And envisioning that golden egg starting to crack open as you are breathing in and out. And the wings of the Divine Mother are just holding, anchoring, honoring the Divine Father, Divine Masculine. Continue breathing. 3 more. Now breathing in through your nose. Holding it there at the top. Hold it, continue holding. Take a couple more sips in. Hold it. You can hold it. And seeing the golden egg just cracking and seeing the Divine Masculine just rising up out of the egg, flowing out, breathing out. And just seeing and Sun God, Ra, Roma, Apia, Katina, Poyama, Nora, Pia, Sian, Popolo, just shining down. Grupa Promaria, Chiama, Popolo, Yapa, Promavo. And just seeing and visioning the Dragon Mother, holding the Divine Father, Divine Masculine, holding her, holding him in her arms and her wings. Ramata Siama, or Yata, Proyata, Marias. Upotra madra, Yaka, Koro, Papro, the dragons are coming through. Upatra Madi, Kora, Patriana, Oro, Paproanatra, Taia, Kokoro, Ia, Papramada. It is so time, like Genevieve Nefertari was saying, it's go time. It's go time for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine.
It's go time, yeah.
To rise. Creata Maore, Patrania, Kakoro. Maria, it's hand in hand, rising together. It's not about leaving anybody left behind.
That's right.
It's moving forward together. And Nefertari was talking about boundaries as well. So it's like setting our boundaries. So if the Divine Masculine isn't rising with us, that's okay too. That's their timeline. We focus on ourselves, right? It's not about fixing, changing, or proving, like I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. So it's about us staying in our own lane, and it's go time. No matter what, it's time for us to be in the driver's seat. It's none of our business what they are doing on their end. We can always support them to rise. We put our loving intention into it. But still come from compassion. Yeah. Taking a nice deep breath in. Letting it out through your mouth. And what I'm seeing is just allowing the allowance. It's the allowance. Allowing what is designed to come through. Because when we rise, when we are focusing on ourselves and our own self-love and our own taking radical responsibility on our own inner work, our child wounds, it's like that self-love. I know with my own experience for the past 7 years, when I have been in my own lane, focusing on my own love, my self-love, things shift around. Shift around so others rise. So your partner, your co-parent, whoever may be, rises with you. And so happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there. Happy
And
Divine.
Tangee,
Happy
this room,
Masculine.
Just real quick, Tangee, I do want to add, which was also coming through, the divine feminine stepping into their empowerment and being an example to our
Yes.
divine masculine. You know, being the example. We can't just sit there and tell them how they need to be. They need to see the process. They need to see what we make of ourselves and how we make change. They need to learn to have faith within us because they were trained not to for so long that they were the only ones that could make anything happen. They need to regain that trust with their divine feminine within themselves, right? They need to know that should be seen. They need to see how their divine feminine is very strong, and that just because they allow their divine feminine inside them to wake up, it doesn't mean that it's weakness. So I just wanted to know to share that it is cohesive, supporting our divine masculine who have not been supported for a very very long time, and that big hole of them in their hearts is the basically being cut from their divine feminine. So we just need to show by example.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was saying, like when I stepped in my own journey of my own self-love and really transmuting the trauma, the inner child wound, ancestral trauma, like and that self-love, I became the example. I became the I was modeling it.
Right.
Modeling for modeling also to my son, raising the next generation.
Super important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being able, I just want to share one little quick story, but being able to see my son, I overheard him having a conversation with one of his friends. They were in a group chat all together talking, and my son, one of his friends, was going through a hard time and looking for a job, and he was feeling really low about himself. And my son was like, just envision it, envision yourself and getting a job, envision the job that you desire. And I'm like listening, and I'm like, but that was me modeling it, right? And then he went on to say, oh, this part, like, oh, it was gonna make me cry because I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, maybe I just need a new girlfriend. And maybe I just need to find another girlfriend. And he's like, what you need to do is focus on yourself. You need to focus on, you don't need another girlfriend. Right now, you need to focus on you. And I was like, that was the divine masculine in my 17-year-old son showing up for his friend.
That's
And
right.
is what we can be an example for.
That's wonderful. I love that.
Sekhmet Sundays. Oh, such power in this.
I love it.
Message. Happy Father's Day to all of you. Happy Divine Masculine. Happy summer solstice. We love you all so much. And again, the invitation is there. I actually want to share because one of my friends, Aubrey, he's like, I really am interested in attending your Reclaim Your Worth, Return to Your Throne. And I feel like the invitation, I haven't talked to you about Nefertari, but I feel like this could be open to men, the divine masculine feeling for the ones that are remote to be with us for this. It's a free event. We're doing it here in Austin at the Anahata Yoga Sanctuary, but we're also going to have it available on Zoom as well. So if you are interested and want to be a part of it and you want to bring in your divine masculine and your divine feminine and be there with us, where it's going to be an amazing free event, 90 minutes. We're going to be doing a little bit of this with the tarot readings and the quantum activations, and also going into like the meta values and what does a meta value, what does that mean? And yeah, so it's going to be a special little free event for everyone. So let us know if you can make it June 27th from 3 to 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Love you all. Just say me if you want information.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.